The rain hammered the tin roof of the Yellowstone Ranger Station like 1,000 frantic heartbeats, but inside, the air hung heavier than the storm outside. 12-year-old Eli Carter stared up at the man behind the counter, his small fists clenched around the soggy park map his mother had shoved into his hands moments ago. "Why do you look like my dad?" he asked, his voice slicing through the downpour's roar, innocent and unyielding, as if he'd just named the elephant in the room no one else dared acknowledge. Ranger Alex Harlan's world tilted on its axis. His calloused fingers, still damp from logging the morning's hiker reports, gripped the edge of the wooden counter until the knuckles whitened. 12 years. He'd rebuilt his life in these Wyoming wilds, far from the manicured suburbs of Boise, far from the wife who'd become a stranger, far from the son he'd kissed goodbye on a playground swing set one autumn afternoon, promising to fix things after the divorce. But here was Eli, all gangly limbs and freckles across a nose that mirrored his own, standing in the flesh, not a faded photo on a hidden mantle. Alex's throat tightened. The truth he'd buried under layers of solitude and service was rising like floodwater, threatening to drown them both. "Eli, honey, that's not." Sarah Carter's voice cracked from the doorway, her umbrella dripping a puddle at her feet. She was soaked through, her blonde hair plastered to her forehead, eyes wide with the panic of a woman who'd driven 3 hours through a freak summer squall only to walk into her worst nightmare. She'd chosen Yellowstone on a whim, a fresh start trip after her latest failed date, a way to show Eli the world's wonders before middle school swallowed him whole. Maps and geysers and bison, that's what she'd promised. Not this ghost from her past, this man whose face had haunted her dreams and Eli's bedtime stories for over a decade. Alex forced a smile, the kind he'd perfected for lost tourists and overzealous birdwatchers, steady, reassuring, utterly false. "Must be the lighting in here, kiddo. Or maybe all us rangers start looking alike after too many bear chases." He leaned down, propping his elbows on the counter, trying to shrink himself to Eli's level. Up close, the boy's eyes, those piercing green ones, held no recognition, only curiosity laced with something sharper, like hurt, he couldn't yet name. Alex's chest ached. He'd missed the gap-toothed grins, the scraped knees, the endless questions about stars and superheroes. Leaving had been survival, not abandonment. Or so he told himself in the quiet hours before dawn, when the park's silence amplified his regrets. Sarah stepped forward, her hand clamping Eli's shoulder a touch too firmly. "We're just here for trail info, Alex. The South Loop to Old Faithful. How's the mud?" Her tone was clipped, professional, the lawyer in her surfacing to build walls. They'd been college sweethearts, high school too, in that small-town Idaho way where everyone knew your business before breakfast. Marriage at 22, Eli at 23, and then the unraveling. Alex's late nights at the office morphing into solitary drives, his touches growing distant, his eyes lingering too long on the wrong faces in crowded bars. She'd fought the divorce papers with everything, counseling, ultimatums, tears, but he'd signed them anyway, vanishing into the National Park Service like smoke. "He's gay," the counselor had said gently one session. "And that's okay. But okay for whom? Not for the church ladies whispering at potlucks, not for her parents' sidelong glances, not for Eli, who still asked on Father's Days why Daddy didn't call." Eli tugged free, undeterred. "Mom says my dad's a hero, but he left 'cause he was sad. You look sad too. Are you my dad?" The words landed like stones in still water, rippling out to expose every submerged lie. Alex's breath caught. Outside, thunder grumbled a warning, and a flash illuminated the boy's face. Hopeful, defiant, heartbreakingly young. Sarah's face drained of color. "Eli, enough. Let's go." But her feet stayed rooted, as if the storm had pinned her there, forcing a reckoning she'd postponed with work emails and Eli's soccer practices. Alex straightened, his ranger's badge glinting under the fluorescent hum. "I'm not. I mean, I knew your mom back in the day. But I'm just Alex, the guy who makes sure you don't get eaten by wolves." He ruffled Eli's damp hair, the gesture automatic, paternal, and it nearly undid him. The touch lingered a second too long, stirring memories of bedtime stories and bicycle training wheels. God, how he'd ached to hold on. Eli frowned, piecing it together like a puzzle with half the pieces missing. If you're not him, why's your name on that old photo Mom hides? The one with the three of us at the lake. He pointed to the counter, as if accusing the laminated trail guide of complicity. Sarah gasped, a sound like breaking glass. The photo. Alex had forgotten about it, or hoped it had burned in one of her purging phases. It was from Eli's 3rd birthday. Alex hoisting him onto sunburned shoulders, Sarah laughing with a picnic basket, the Snake River sparkling behind them. A perfect family snapshot, captured before the cracks spiderwebbed through. Alex's mask slipped. Eli, listen, but the door burst open again, admitting a gust of wind and a drenched couple in neon hiking gear, demanding directions to the nearest lodge. The moment shattered, everyday chaos reclaiming the space. Sarah seized the opportunity, bundling Eli toward the exit with muttered apologies and promises of hot cocoa at the car. As they vanished into the gray curtain of rain, Alex sank onto a stool, head in hands. The station's radio crackled to life, routine patrol check-in, but he heard none of it. Why now? Why here, in this outpost of pines and geysers where he'd carved a fragile peace? He'd come out fully only after the divorce, dating quietly in Jackson Hole bars, finding tentative love with a fellow ranger who understood the weight of hidden lives. But that had ended too, in mutual heartbreak over the miles and the memories. Now, this, a boy with his eyes, demanding answers Alex wasn't sure he could give without unraveling everything. Hours later, as the storm eased to a drizzle, Alex's phone buzzed, a number he hadn't seen in years. Sarah, we need to talk. Eli's asking questions. Meet us at the Firehole Trailhead tomorrow. Dawn. No pleasantries, no warmth. Just the pull of unfinished business, yanking him back to the life he'd fled. Dawn broke over the Firehole River in a haze of mist, the water murmuring secrets to the willows lining its banks. Alex arrived early, his truck's wipers batting away the last of the night's condensation. He'd barely slept, replaying Eli's question like a looped reel. Why do you look like my dad? Because I am, kid. Because I had to go. Because love isn't always what we think it is. Sarah's SUV pulled up precisely at 6, Eli asleep in the back seat, his cheeks smushed against the window. She climbed out alone, arms crossed over her rain jacket, the lines around her mouth deeper than Alex remembered. He's out cold, Benadryl for the drive. Good call on the timing. He doesn't need to hear this yet. Alex nodded, leaning against his tailgate. The air smelled of wet earth and pine sap, a scent that usually grounded him but now felt claustrophobic. What does he know, Sarah? About me, I mean. She scoffed, but it was half-hearted, laced with exhaustion. Enough to idolize you from afar. I told him you were a firefighter who got hurt, had to move away for special doctors. Hero stuff. Easier than the truth. Her eyes flicked to the river, avoiding his. The divorce was messy, Alex. The town talked. My job suffered, clients whispering about the broken home. I shielded him from it all. Guilt twisted in Alex's gut, sharp as a fresh cut. I never wanted that. Leaving was the only way I could breathe. Pretending. It was killing me. He paused, the words he'd rehearsed in mirrors spilling out raw. I loved you, Sarah. As a friend, as family. But not like that. Not the way you deserved. She met his gaze then, fierce and unyielding. And Eli? He deserved a father, not a ghost. Tears welled, but didn't fall. She was steel-forged now, tempered by single-mom battles and boardroom wars. He's starting to remember things. The photo was the trigger. He found it in my desk last week. Asked why Uncle Alex looked just like Daddy. Alex swallowed hard. I'm not his uncle, and I can't keep pretending I am. The admission hung between them, heavy as the mist. For the first time in years, the full weight of his choices pressed down. The custody hearing he'd skipped, the birthday card sent anonymously, the ache of watching Eli's life unfold through Sarah's sporadic, bitter updates. Sarah's shoulders sagged. Then what? You waltz back in as the long-lost gay dad ranger? Eli's school has those anti-bullying assemblies now, but kids are cruel. And my parents? God, Alex, they'd disown me for even considering it. He stepped closer, careful not to crowd. I'm not asking to upend everything. Just, let me be part of it. On his terms. Tell him the truth, or let me. But hiding? It's poisoning us all. A twig snapped behind them. Eli, rubbing sleep from his eyes, backpack slung over one shoulder. "Mom? Is that?" His voice trailed off as realization dawned, the pieces slotting into place with a child's brutal clarity. Sarah froze, but Alex turned, heart hammering. "Hey, buddy. Yeah, it's me. And we got a lot to talk about." Eli's face crumpled, not in anger, but confusion, a storm of emotions too big for his frame. "You left 'cause you're like the guys in that parade on TV? The ones Dad, wait, you hated?" The question wasn't accusatory, but it stung, echoing the prejudices Alex had fled. His own father's slurs at the dinner table, the church sermons branding love like his as sin. Alex knelt. I left because I was scared, Eli. Scared of hurting you and your mom more by pretending to be someone I wasn't. Being gay isn't a choice, it's who I am. And it's not bad. It's just love, different from what I thought I had to be. Eli chewed his lip, processing. But why hide? If you're a ranger, that's cool. Heroes save people. The simplicity pierced Alex. Sometimes heroes run first. But I'm done running. He extended a hand, tentative. Eli took it, small palm warm against calluses earned from years of solitary trails. Sarah watched, torn between relief and resentment. "This doesn't fix everything, Alex. Therapy, co-parenting plans, it's going to be work." "I know." He stood, the river's rush a backdrop to their fragile truce. But as they hiked the trail, Eli peppering him with questions about bears and badges, Alex felt a spark of possibility. Not redemption, not yet, but a path forward, winding like the firehole, full of bends and surprises. Little did they know, the real storm was brewing back in Boise. Sarah's phone pinged midway through the loop, a text from her sister, laced with venom. "Saw the park pics on your Insta. With him? Mom's furious. Church groups praying for Eli's soul already." The words chilled her. The town's undercurrents of judgment, dormant for years, stirred anew. By midday, as they picnicked on basalt boulders overlooking a geothermal pool, Eli had warmed to the idea, chattering about sleepovers at the ranger cabin. Alex laughed, a real one, rusty from disuse, picturing it. Morays by the fire, stargazing lessons, truths told in whispers. But Sarah's silence grew, her glances at her phone furtive. That night, back at the park lodge, Alex met with his colleague and on-again confidant, Jamie Ruiz. Jamie was everything Alex wasn't. Openly gay from college, a park botanist with a laugh that echoed through canyons and a tattoo of wildflowers snaking up his arm. They dated briefly 2 years back, a tentative thing born of shared shifts and stolen kisses under auroras, ended by Alex's walls and Jamie's impatience with half measures. Now, friends with an undercurrent of what-ifs. Over lukewarm coffee in the employee lounge, Alex spilled it all, the confrontation, the hike, the tentative bridge to Eli. Jamie listened, his dark eyes thoughtful, fingers tracing the rim of his mug. "Sounds like a rom-com plot, Harlan. Except the plot twist is your ex-wife's homophobic family crashing the party." Alex groaned. Sarah mentioned her folks. They're old-school Catholic, the kind who think conversion therapy's a spa day. Jamie leaned in, voice low. "And you? Ready to fight for this? 'Cause custody battles in red states ain't pretty, and Eli's at that age where peers can be vicious." The door swung open, another ranger, oblivious, grabbing a vending machine snack. But the interruption jolted Alex. Fight. He'd spent years avoiding conflict, blending into the forest like camouflage. Yet Eli's hand in his that morning. It demanded more. "I have to," Alex said finally. "For him." Jamie smiled, sad and proud. "Then let's map it out. I've got a cousin who's a family lawyer in Cheyenne." Discreet. As Jamie sketched notes on a napkin, Alex felt the weight lift slightly. Friendship, the kind that skirted the edges of love, was a lifeline. But dawn brought complications. Sarah called, voice hushed. "Eli wants to stay another day. But my sister's coming up, uninvited. Says we need family intervention." Alex's blood ran cold. Aunt Lydia, the pious enforcer, Bible quotes at the ready, who'd once cornered him at a reunion, hissing about curing his affliction before Eli caught it. "Stall her," he urged. "I'll be there." The lodge parking lot became a battlefield by noon. Lydia's minivan screeched in, disgorging 2 stern-faced cousins and a cooler of prayer sandwiches. Eli shrank behind Sarah. sensing the tension like prey to a predator. "Sarah, what in God's name?" Lydia's voice carried, drawing stares from tourists. "Exposing my nephew to that man's perversion? After all we've sacrificed." Alex arrived mid-tirade, truck skidding to a halt. He stepped out, uniform crisp, but his pulse thundered. "Lydia, this isn't your call." Her eyes narrowed, lipsticked mouth a-slash. "Oh, it's the prodigal sinner. Come to corrupt further? The boy's confused enough without your lifestyle." Eli peeked out, voice small but steady. "Aunt Lydia, stop. He's my dad. And he's good." The words halted her, a beat of stunned silence. Sarah seized it. "Enough, sis. We're figuring this out, as a family." Alex included. Lydia's face twisted, but the cousins shifted uncomfortably, one muttering about kids these days. The confrontation diffused into awkward small talk, sandwiches uneaten. But as Lydia retreated, vowing prayers won't stop, Alex knew the war was just beginning. That evening, with Eli tucked in after a day of fossil digs, Sarah and Alex sat on the lodge porch, stars wheeling overhead. "Thank you," she said softly, "for standing up." He shrugged, but his voice thickened. "I owe him that. And you." She sipped her wine. "It's weird, seeing you like this. Happy almost. Who's the guy? Saw you with that botanist earlier. Spark there?" Alex flushed, caught. "Jamie. Old flame, new friend. Complicated." Sarah smiled faintly. "Life's full of those. Just don't run again." The promise settled between them, fragile as new ice. But twists lurked in the shadows. The next morning, a park alert buzzed Alex's radio. A hiker overdue on the remote Avalanche Peak Trail, last seen with a kid matching Eli's description. No, wait, a group, but panic flared anyway. Sarah had planned a solo father-son hike to Bond. "Eli." Alex barked into his walkie, mobilizing search teams. Jamie joined, face grim. Coordinates point to a washout, storm damage. They trekked fast, boots sucking in mud, hearts in throats. Hours blurred, false trails, radio static, Jamie's hand on Alex's shoulder a steady anchor. "He's tough, like you." Dusk fell as they crested a ridge, spotting them. Eli and Sarah, huddled by a fallen log, faces streaked with dirt, but unharmed. A wrong turn, nothing more. Relief crashed over Alex like a wave. He pulled Eli into a bear hug, the boy clinging back. "You're my hero," Eli whispered. In that moment, amid the wild's whisper, Alex vowed silently, no more hiding. For Eli, for Jamie's quiet hope, for the love he'd denied too long. Yet back in civilization, prejudices loomed larger. Boise's grapevine buzzed, Lydia's whispers fueling a petition at Eli's school, parents demanding safe, field trips sans agenda-pushing dads. Sarah's firm lost a client. Alex's park leave request hit bureaucratic snags, whispers of personal issues. Jamie became Alex's rock, their coffees evolving into late-night talks by the cabin fire. "This could be us," Jamie said one night, fingers brushing Alex's. "If you let it." Alex hesitated, Eli's laughter echoing from a nearby game. "I want to. But the world's not kind to guys like us with baggage." "Then we'll carry it together." Jamie's kiss was gentle, a question. Alex answered yes, tentative, the spark reigniting. Climax brewed at Eli's school open house. Protesters, Lydia's church allies, lined the lot with signs, "Protect our children from sin." Alex arrived with Eli's hand in his, Sarah flanking, Jamie a step behind. Cameras flashed, jeers rose. "Dad, why them?" Eli asked, voice trembling. Alex knelt. "Fear, buddy. They don't understand love like ours. But we do." Inside, the principal pulled Sarah aside. "We support diversity, but optics." Eli's teacher intervened, a young woman with rainbow pins. "Optics be damned. Eli's thriving, because of this family." The standoff peaked when Lydia stormed the auditorium, microphone in hand for testimony. This man abandoned his son for unnatural urges. Alex stood, voice steady. "I left a lie, not my son. And my love, for him, for Jamie, is as real as yours. Judge that." Murmurs rippled. A father in the crowd nodded. "Let the kid decide." Eli rose, small but fierce. "My dad's a ranger. He saves lives. That's who he is." Applause scattered, then swelled. Lydia fled, defeated. In the aftermath, bridges mended unevenly. Sarah dated cautiously, finding peace in therapy. Alex and Jamie built slowly. Trail runs, shared patrols. Eli's approval sealed with Uncle Jamie's cool. 1 year on, atop Avalanche Peak, Alex proposed, not ring, but promise, to Jamie, Eli cheering. Sarah toasted from afar, family redefined. "Why'd you come back, Dad?" Eli asked later, stars above. Alex smiled. "Because you asked. And some truths are worth the storm." The autumn leaves in Yellowstone turned the valleys into a riot of red and gold. But for Alex Harlan, the colors felt like warnings, flares signaling the end of summer's fragile calm. It had been 3 months since the open house showdown, and Boise's chill winds carried more than falling foliage. They whispered doubts, testing the seams of the life he'd stitched back together. Eli's school had quieted after the rally, but Lydia's church splintered, her influence waning as younger voices pushed for inclusivity. Still, Alex felt the eyes, at grocery checkouts, gas pumps, the sidelong glances from neighbors who'd once waved hello. Jamie Ruiz noticed it first, during their weekly Botanist Ranger coffee run in Jackson Hole. "You're jumping at shadows, Harlan," he said, stirring sugar into his black brew with a forefinger. Jamie's easy confidence, honed from years of marching in pride parades and teaching park seminars on queer ecology, grounded Alex like roots in rocky soil. At 38, Jamie was a year younger, with olive skin from his Mexican-American heritage, curly black hair tamed under a wool beanie, and eyes that crinkled at the corners when he teased. Their relationship had deepened post-proposal, a quiet commitment marked by matching keychains, a pine cone for Jamie, a bear claw for Alex. "I'm not," Alex protested, but his laugh was weak. Eli's latest art project, a family portrait with stick figure him holding Jamie's hand, hung on the fridge back home, but Sarah had fielded calls from concerned parents. "It's just Eli's starting basketball tryouts. What if the coach?" Jamie cut him off with a foot nudge under the table. "Eli's got your grit and my sass. He'll handle it." He paused, gaze softening. "And you've got me. Remember that." The reassurance lingered as Alex drove back to the park, radio tuned to a country station crooning about lost loves. He thought of Sarah, their co-parenting rhythm now a well-worn trail, shared custody weeks, text threads about homework and flu shots. She'd started seeing Mark, a mild-mannered accountant with a penchant for board games. Finally, someone who doesn't chase grizzlies, she'd joked at their last handoff. Alex was happy for her, truly. Their bond had evolved into something stronger, unromantic but unbreakable. But peace was a luxury. That evening, as Alex logged trail reports in the dim ranger office, his phone lit up with an unknown Boise number. "Ranger Harlan? This is Principal Greer from Eli's school. We need to discuss an incident." The word incident landed like a rock slide. Alex's mind raced to worst cases, a fight, a slur scrawled on a locker. What happened? Greer's voice was measured, practiced. Eli was confronted during recess. "Some boys repeated things their parents said. About you and Mr. Ruiz. He's shaken, but tough. Can you come in tomorrow?" Alex's grip tightened on the receiver. "I'll be there." He hung up, staring at the flickering computer screen, the park's webcams showing empty paths under moonlight. Calling Jamie first would be easy, his steady voice a balm. But this felt personal, an echo of the judgments that had driven him away years ago. Dawn Patrol was a blur. Alex handed off duties to a rookie, the kid's eager questions bouncing off his distraction. The 3-hour drive to Boise felt eternal, wheat fields blurring into memories. The day he'd packed his truck after signing the papers, Eli's tear-streaked face at the window, Sarah's "Don't you dare" vanish completely. He'd kept that promise, sending postcards from parks across the West, but distance bred myths, whispers that he'd run off with a lover to San Francisco, that Eli was damaged goods. The school parking lot buzzed with minivans and chattering moms, but Alex spotted Sarah's car first. She waited by the entrance, arms crossed, her lawyer poised, masking fury. They suspended the ringleader, Tommy Hargrove, Lydia's nephew. 2 days, minimum. Alex exhaled. "Eli, with the counselor. Come on." She led him through linoleum halls lined with lockers painted primary colors, the air thick with crayons and cafeteria mystery meat. Eli sat in a tiny office, knees drawn up, drawing furiously on a notepad, a superhero cape over a ranger hat, shield emblazoned with family rules. "Hey, champ." Alex crouched, voice soft. "Heard you had a rough day?" Eli looked up, eyes red-rimmed but defiant. "Tommy said you're going to hell 'cause you love Jamie. But hell's for bullies, right? Like in that story you told me about the wolf and the moon." Alex's heart swelled. He'd spun that tale last summer, a fable of acceptance under park stars. Exactly. Loves the moon, lights the way, no matter what wolves howl. He ruffled Eli's hair, the gesture a tether. The counselor, a middle-aged woman with kind eyes and a lanyard of pride buttons, joined them. "Eli's resilient, but this highlights broader issues. We've ramped up our program, but parental buy-in varies." Sarah nodded tightly. "I'll handle the PDA meeting. Alex, your story, share it. They need to hear from you." Public speaking? Alex's stomach knotted. He'd faced charging moose with less dread. But Eli's small hand in his decided it. Okay. The PDA gathering that night was a gymnasium affair. Folding chairs in rows, coffee urns steaming, a projector humming with pie charts on community values. 30 parents milled, a mix of flannel dads and yoga mom ponytails, but tension crackled like static. Lydia sat front row, chin high, flanked by allies. Principal Greer introduced Alex. Our guest speaker, Ranger Alex Harlan, father to Eli Carter, on Bridging Divides. He stood, throat dry, notes crumpled in his pocket. "I'm not here to preach, just to share what I've learned from trails and trials." He spoke of Yellowstone's bison herds, how the old bulls protect the calves, no matter the storm. Families like that. It adapts, it endures. My son asked me once why I look like his dad. Laughter rippled, lightening the air. Because I am. And loving Jamie? That's part of our herd now. It doesn't take from Eli. It makes him stronger. Murmurs shifted. A mom in the back wiped her eyes. Lydia stood abruptly. "This is indoctrination." "My Tommy." A dad near her interrupted. "Your Tommy started it, Lydia. My boy's the one who came home crying 'cause his friend got hurt." The room tilted. Allies peeled away, uncomfortable. Greer adjourned smoothly, but afterward, a cluster surrounded Alex. Handshakes, apologies, one dad admitting, "My brother's gay." Kept it quiet too long. Jamie, who'd slipped in late, squeezed Alex's elbow, silent support. Driving home with Eli asleep in the back, Sarah debriefed. "You were great. Mark's waiting with pizza. Said to tell you welcome to the club." Alex chuckled. "The ex-husbands who are cool with each other club." Something like that. She paused at a light. "Jamie's good for you." "Steady." He glanced in the rear view, Eli's chest rising even. "Yeah, he is." But steady cracked under pressure. 2 weeks later, a park emergency yanked Jamie away. A research grant in Alaska, monitoring climate shifts on permafrost. 6 weeks max. He promised at the airport drop-off, kissing Alex fiercely amid travelers rushing by. "Call every night. Love you." The words echoed hollow in the empty cabin Alex returned to, the silence amplified by Eli's custody week with Sarah. Work-filled days, patrolling fire lines as fall dried the underbrush. But nights brought doubts. Was he enough alone? Could he shield Eli from the world's barbs without Jamie's humor? A call from Boise shattered the quiet. Eli's fever, flu turning pneumonia. Alex floored it south, arriving at the hospital to Sarah's exhausted face. "He's stable," but they admitted him. "Lydia's been hovering." The room smelled of antiseptic and wilted flowers. Eli lay pale under crisp sheets, for dripping steadily. "Dad," he mumbled, eyes fluttering open. "I'm here, buddy." Alex took his hand, willing strength through the touch. Lydia lurked in the hall, arms full of pamphlets, spiritual healing tracts. "This is judgment," she hissed to Sarah, "for tolerating that lifestyle." Sarah snapped. "Get out, Lydia, or I'll have security escort you." The standoff escalated. Lydia's husband arrived, Bible thumping. Hospital staff intervened. Alex stayed with Eli, reading trail tales until sleep claimed the boy. Jamie's video call buzzed at midnight, grainy from Tundra Wi-Fi. "How's our fighter?" "Stubborn. Like us." Alex's voice broke. "Miss you. It's a lot." Jamie's face softened across pixels. "You're doing it, Alex. holding the line. I'll be home soon. The encouragement fueled him through vigil nights, but climax hit on day 4. Lydia filed for emergency guardianship, citing unfit environment with Alex's deviant partner. Court papers slapped down mid-morning, Sarah raging in the waiting room. "We fight," Alex said, steel in his spine. "Lawyer up." The hearing loomed a week out, Jamie cutting his trip short to testify. Eli rallied, discharged with antibiotics and a bear plush from the gift shop. Home in Boise, the house buzzed with prep, mock questions, character letters from park colleagues, even Mark offering logistics. Jamie landed 2 days before court, sweeping into the chaos with bear hugs and takeout. "Told you," together. That night, with Eli asleep, they walked the backyard under harvest moon. "Marry me for real?" After this, Alex pulled him close. "Yes, all in." Court day dawned crisp. The judge's chambers felt like a trailhead, uncharted, exhilarating. Lydia's lawyer droned on. Abandonment history, moral concerns. Testimonies rolled. Sarah's on co-parenting success, Jamie's on stable partnership, Eli's own statement, read by the counselor. "My dads make me safe." The judge ruled swift. Petition denied. Supervised visits for Lydia only. Family's what we build, not tear down. Relief washed over them like spring rain. Lydia stormed out, but a cousin lingered, whispering apology. Healing, incremental. Winter blanketed Yellowstone in snow, Eli's first cabin Christmas a wonder. Sledding, Coco, Jamie carving wooden wolves. Sarah and Mark joined for New Year's, toasts to new chapters. As fireworks lit the sky, Alex held Jamie, Eli between them. "Why'd it take so long?" Eli asked, snowflakes and lashes. "'Cause some paths loop back," Alex said, "to where you're meant to be." Spring thawed the park's secrets, geysers hissing like impatient storytellers. But for the Harlan Ruiz Carter clan, renewal came slower, layered with the grit of growth. Eli's basketball team made regionals. His hook shot a thing of beauty, cheered loudest by Alex on the bleachers, Jamie waving foam fingers like a pro. Sarah's firm promoted her to partner, Mark's steady presence a quiet anchor. Lydia's visits were civil now, stilted cookie bakes with Eli, no sermons, but the scar tissue itched, a reminder of fractures mended crooked. Alex thrived in the rhythm. Dawn patrols with Jamie cataloging wildflowers, evenings grilling trout while Eli practiced ranger knots. Their wedding loomed in June, a small affair at the park chapel, vows under vaulted beams of reclaimed timber, Eli ring bearer in a tiny vest. "No tuxes," Jamie insisted. "Jeans and boots. Real." But beneath the joy, undercurrents stirred. A letter arrived in May, postmarked faded, from Alex's father, Harlan Sr., the patriarch who disowned him post-divorce with a curt, "Don't come back till you're fixed." Inside, shaky script, "Cancer. Stage 4. Come see your mother. She misses the boy." Alex stared at the envelope over breakfast, coffee going cold. Jamie read over his shoulder, hand on his knee. "You don't owe him." Eli piped up from his cereal. "Grandpa?" The mean one from stories. "Not mean," Alex corrected gently. Hurt. And scared. The irony stung. He'd mirrored that fear once, hiding his truth to fit the mold. Sarah weighed in via text. "Go. Closure's a gift for Eli too." She knew the history. Harlan Sr. spelt discipline. The church's fire and brimstone Sundays that left Alex praying for normalcy. The drive to rural Oregon was a time machine. Dusty roads winding through orchards, the old farmhouse sagging like weary shoulders. Mother Harlan met him on the porch, frail but fierce, apron dusted with flour. Alexander. A hug, bone-thin arms fierce. Eli hung back, clutching Jamie's hand. Inside, the air smelled of apple pie and mothballs. Harlan Sr. sat in a recliner, oxygen tube snaking to his nose, eyes sunken but sharp. "Brought the circus, eh?" His gravel voice held no warmth, but no venom either. Resignation, perhaps. "Dad." Alex's throat bobbed. "This is Jamie, my fiancé. And you remember Eli." The old man grunted, gaze lingering on Eli. "Grown. Looks like you at that age." A pause, heavy. "Sorry, boy. For the letters I didn't write." Eli shrugged, kid resilient. "It's okay. Dad says family's fixable." Dinner was awkward theater. pie sliced thin, small talk skirting minds. Mother chattered about neighbors, but Harlan Sr.'s coughs punctuated silences. Later, as Eli played checkers with Grandma, father and son retreated to the den, walls lined with faded hunting trophies, a lifetime of manly pursuits. "Why now?" Alex asked, sinking into a creaky chair. Harlan Sr. wheezed. "Doc say months. Regrets pile up." His eyes, milky blue, met Alex's green. "I was wrong. About you. The church. It twisted me. Your ma knew. Pushed me to reach out." The admission cracked something in Alex. Forgiveness? Not yet, but understanding, a bridge over the chasm. "It hurt, Dad. Deep. I know." A tear tracked the old man's cheek. "Proud of you now. Ranger, family man. That partner's solid. Sees how he looks at you." Alex blinked. "Jamie." "Yeah, he is." They talked till dusk. Boyhood fishing trips, the divorce's fallout, Eli's triumphs. No magic erasure, but seeds planted. As they left, Harlan Sr. pressed a pocket knife into Eli's palm, his first, engraved with Harlan. "Use it well, grandson." The return trip was lighter, Eli twirling the blade, Jamie humming off-key tunes. "Healing's messy," he said at a rest stop, stealing a fry. "But look at you, blooming." Alex kissed him, salt tangy. "Couldn't without you." Back home, Eli's questions flowed. Will Grandpa get better? Alex fielded honestly, introducing hard talks over ice cream. The boy absorbed, then pivoted. "Can we invite Aunt Lydia to the wedding? She sent cookies last week. Chocolate chip." The gesture floored Alex. "If you want, champ." Lydia's RSVP came tentative. "Yes." With reservations. Progress. June's wedding day dawned misty, the chapel fragrant with pine and peonies. Guests sparse but heartfelt. Sarah and Mark, park buddies. Eli's coach with his husband. Mother Harlan flew in, frail but beaming. Harlan Sr. watched via video, voice crackling, "Congrats, son." Vows simple. Jamie's, "I'll follow your trails, wild or worn." Alex's, "You've mapped my heart, north always." Eli hooped, tossing petals like confetti. Reception under string lights. Barbecue, bluegrass fiddles, Eli dancing with Grandma. Lydia arrived late, gift bag clutched, a quilt, hand-stitched with park motifs. "For your home," she murmured to Alex, eyes downcast. "I'm trying." He hugged her, brief but real. "That's enough." As stars pricked the sky, Alex and Jamie slipped away to a meadow overlook. Eli conked out in Sarah's care. "Husband," Jamie tested, grin wide. Alex pulled him down onto wild grass. "Husband." The word fit, like a well-worn boot. But bliss was brief. July brought wildfires, the Biscuit Basin blaze, winds whipping flames across tinder-dry slopes. Alex mobilized, chainsaw in hand, Jamie coordinating evacuations from the air. Eli stayed with Sarah, glued to news feeds. A close call came night 3. Alex's crew trapped by a flare-up, radio cutting, to Mayday. Jamie's chopper hovered, dropping water loads, voice urgent. "Hang on, love. I'm coming." Sarah called Eli's school early. "Dad's a hero again." But the boy paced, fists balled. What if? The crew escaped at dawn, singed but safe. Alex stumbled into the station, soot-streaked, collapsing into Jamie's arms. "Thought I lost you," Jamie whispered. "Never." Alex's laugh was ragged. "We're fireproof." Reunion with Eli was tearful. Airport pickup, bear hugs. "Missed you, dads." The plural landed sweet. Fall term started strong. Eli's essay on family forests, winning praise, roots and branches metaphor earning A's. But whispers persisted. A new kid at school, transfer from Lydia's church, echoing old slurs and whispers. Eli handled it, confiding over dinner. "Told him my family's got 2 dads and a mom with a boyfriend. He's jealous, his pop split for real." Pride swelled. Alex high-fived him. Jamie added, "Brains and heart. Deadly combo." Thanksgiving gathered them all. Sarah's table groaning with turkey, Mark's pies, Mother Harlan's stories. Lydia came too, conversation halting but present. Harlan Sr.'s health waned, but a video call bridged, past the gravy sun. Laughter flowed. Winter holidays twinkled, cabin lights strung, Eli's sled races. But January tested, Jamie's grant renewed. 6 months in Costa Rica, rainforest surveys. We'll manage, Alex assured, but doubt not. Eli's plea. Go, Uncle Jay. Bring back monkey pics. Departure was airport bittersweet. Jamie's 6 months flies a mantra. Letters bridged. Eli's drawings, Alex's trail logs, Sarah's updates. Midway, crisis. Eli's appendix burst during a sleepover. Alex rushed him to ER, Sarah en route. Surgery clean, but the scare bonded them. Alex sleeping in the chair, Eli's thanks, Dad a bomb. Jamie flew back early, vines forgotten. Family first. Spring bloomed anew, Eli's birthday a bash. Park picnic, cake by geyser. Gifts piled. Knife from Grandpa, video cameo. Book from Lydia, on forgiveness. As summer beckoned, Alex reflected on the path. Twists of prejudice, fires of fear, blooms of love. Why the long way? Eli asked once, tossing a ball. 'Cause views are better earned, Alex replied. Jamie winked. And the company's unbeatable. Summer's heat wave baked the Rockies, turning streams to trickles and tempers short, but the Harlan Ruiz household hummed with purpose. Eli turned 13 in July, gangly growth spurt hitting like a freight train, voice cracking mid-sentence. Am I done being a kid? He asked Alex one evening, while they baited hooks for trout. Nah, Alex chuckled, threading worm onto barb. Just leveling up. More adventures, same heart. Jamie, knee-deep in the river nearby, splashed them both. Retribution for a prank involving itching powder in his socks. Laughter echoed off canyon walls, a soundtrack to their hard-won normal. Sarah's life stabilized too. Engagement to Mark announced quietly, ring simple gold. No big wedding, she confided over coffee. Courthouse, then barbecue. Eli's your best man proxy. Alex teased her about settling down, but joy laced it. Watching her glow, unburdened. Lydia's thaw continued. Weekly calls with Eli, sharing recipes, even attending a pride picnic incognito. Baby steps, she told Alex post-event. Face flushed from sun, not shame. Your boy's perspective. It's humbling. Harlan Sr.'s decline accelerated. Hospice in Oregon meant weekly drives. Eli adapted, reading aloud from adventure books, the old man's rasps punctuating tales. Like old times, Mother Harlan whispered, squeezing Alex's hand. One lucid afternoon, Harlan Sr. pulled Alex aside. Tell Jamie. Sorry. For the world I raised you in. The words freed something. Alex relayed them that night, Jamie's eyes misting. Hearts change late, but they change. August brought park chaos, tourist surge, a rock slide closing trails. Alex coordinated rescues, Jamie leading eco-tours for VIPs, senators pushing green bills. Fancy, Alex ribbed over walkies. Dinner date after? Jamie shot back. Steak, no senators. Their nights, when Eli visited Sarah, reignited sparks, slow dances in the kitchen, whispers planning expansions, a bigger cabin, maybe adoption talks. Eli needs a sibling, Jamie mused. Chaos squared. Alex hesitated. One miracle at a time. Eli's school year kicked off with fanfare, debate club, cross-country team. But sophomore slights lingered, a graffiti tag in the bathroom, fag dad's kid. Eli reported it, Principal Swift, but the sting lingered. Home, he vented to Jamie via video. Costa Rica extension next. Why can't they get it? Jamie leaned into camera. Some folks hike the easy trail. You're summit-bound. The wisdom stuck, Eli's grades soared. Essay on overcoming bias, earning regional honors. Fall foliage peaked. Family photos snapped. All of them at Multnomah Falls, Oregon. Sarah, Mark, Lydia even, tentative smile. Harlan Sr. passed peacefully that October, funeral a mix. Church hymns softened, eulogies inclusive. Alex spoke. He found his way home late, but he found it. Eli placed the engraved knife in the casket. A circle closed. Grief hit waves. Eli quiet spells. Alex chopping wood furiously, Jamie's herbal teas a gentle nudge. Sarah hosted Thanksgiving early, yams and yarns weaving warmth. Winter gripped tight, snowshoe treks with Eli becoming ritual. Jamie's book deal landed. Queer Roots. LGBTQ+ in American Parks. Dedicated to my trailblazer. Launch party in Bozeman drew crowds. Alex beaming ringside. But February frosted relations. Mark's ex surfaced, custody tussle over a daughter from prior marriage. Sarah leaned on Alex, late-night vents. Thought I had it figured. No one's got the map, he said. Just compass north. Eli mediated unwittingly. Mom, Uncle Mark's cool. Give him slack. Wisdom beyond years. Spring equinox brought renewal. Sarah and Mark's wedding. Backyard affair with string quartet. Eli walked her down, Alex best man. Vows echoed his own. Through fires and floods. Honeymoon photos flooded in. Beaches, bliss. Back, Sarah confided. Pregnant. Surprise. Eli hooped. Sibling. Can I name it? Laughter, plans, nursery shares, co-op babysits. Summer round 2. Park internship for Eli. Junior Ranger badge earned shadowing Alex. Jamie mentored botany. Their trio a unit. Spotting rare orchids. Debating ethics over lunches. A hiker mishap tested. Elderly woman lost. Dementia-fueled wander. Search exhaustive. Eli's sharp eyes spotting her tracks. Rescue hailed local news. Family team saves day. Fame fleeting, but Lydia clipped the article, framing it. Proud, she admitted over pie. Eli's crush bloomed too. Classmate Mia, braces and boldness. First dance jitters. What if she asks about us? Alex and Jamie tag-teamed. Tell your truth. It's your strength. Prom night. He glowed. Corsage wilted, stories endless. Fall deepened bonds. College tours for Eli, dreams of forestry. Like you, Dad, but with Uncle Jay's plants. Winter solstice party. All in, lights twinkling. Sarah's baby bump showed, names bandied. But twist lurked. Jamie's diagnosis. Early Lyme, from a tick last season. Fatigue hit hard, treatments grueling. We got this, Alex vowed. Eli fetching meds, Sarah sending soups. Recovery slow, but spring saw Jamie stronger. Book tour canceled for home. Priorities, he grinned. Eli's graduation neared. Valedictorian speech drafted. Trails teach us detours aren't dead ends. They're discoveries. Summer send-off. Cross-country road trip. Parks galore. Stops at Grand Canyon, Yosemite. Echoes of Alex's solo years. At journey's end. Yellowstone homecoming. Barbecue. Tears. College tomorrow. Eli hugged. But weekends. Always, duo chorused. As taillights faded, Alex leaned on Jamie. Empty nest incoming. More us time, Jamie winked. Round 2 adventures. Ages turned. Eli's freshman year flew, calls weekly. Sarah's twins arrived. Boy and girl, chaos doubled. Lydia babysat, redeemed. Anniversaries stacked. 5th for Alex Jamie, vow renewals by Geyser. Eli visited, girlfriend in tow. Mia, now majoring in enviro law. Grandkids babbled soon. Eli's twins, park romps. Alex, graying, taut knots. Jamie, orchids. Reflections over campfires. Started with a question. Alex mused. Eli smiled. Why do you look like my dad? Best plot twist. Laughter rose. Stars witness to love's long arc. Winding, wild, holy theirs. Wait, that's the end? No. Life looped eternal. Years folded like accordions, compressing triumphs and tempests into tales told over diner coffee or crackling fires. Eli's college flew by in a blur of all-nighters and accolades, graduating top of his envirosci class, Mia at his side with a ring on her finger. Dual degrees, dual lives, he joked at commencement, hugging Alex tight. Couldn't without you two paving the trail. Jamie, now silver at the temples, clapped loudest, his lime a faded scar. Our cubs soaring. Post-ceremony barbecue at the cabin drew the full circle. Sarah and Mark with toddler twins toddling through grass. Lydia, graybund and gentler, chasing them with giggles. Even a video from Mother Harlan, widowed but spry in assisted living. Marriage followed swift. Eli and Mia's wedding in a Boise botanical garden. Vows under arbors heavy with roses. Alex walked Eli down, voice thick. Proud doesn't cover it. Jamie officiated, words poetic. Love's not a straight path. It's the switchbacks that build character. Honeymoon in Costa Rica, Jamie's old haunt, yielded stories of zip lines and howler monkeys. Back, Eli landed a Park Service gig in Glacier, Mia joining as policy whiz. Building on your legacy, dads. Parenting mirrored Alex's own. Eli's first son, little Owen, arrived squalling in a Billings hospital. Alex and Jamie first visitors. He has your eyes, Alex whispered, cradling the bundle. Jamie teared up. And my nose, poor kid. Grandpa Judy's suited them. Cabin weekends with lullabies and leaf peeping. Owen's tiny hands and theirs on trails. Sarah's twins, Lily and Leo, adored Uncle Eli's baby. Playdates a riot. But age whispered warnings. Jamie's knees creaked on hikes. Alex's back twinged from old chainsaw days. Retirement loomed. Park honors ceremony planned. Plaques for lifetime service. A call shattered routine. Eli's voice edged panic. Mia's miscarriage. Second one. We're wrecked. Alex drove through night rain, Jamie packing care kits. Glacier Cabin found them hollow-eyed. Owen too, and oblivious. Hugs lingered, words few. It hurts, Mia admitted over tea. Like losing a future. Jamie shared quiet. We get it. Fertility struggles pre-you, Eli. Adoption crossed minds, but timing. Eli nodded, spent. What now? Grieve, then grow, Alex said. Family's elastic. Months mended slow, therapy sessions, Owen's antics anchors. News broke joyful. Pregnancy 3, sticky. Cautious optimism. Eli texted photos of ultrasounds. Birthday, daughter Isla, fierce cry echoing Owen's. Hospital vigil full. Alex holding Mia's hand. Jamie reading to Owen. Sarah FaceTiming twins. Naming ceremony lakeside. For islands, strong, surrounded by water but unbowed. Lydia, great-grandma now, gifted a locket. Generations heal. Eli's career climbed. Lead ecologist, testifying on climate bills. Mia's firm boomed, pro bono for queer youth. Alex and Jamie's 20th anniversary. Vow renewal at Firehole Trailhead. Dawn light gilding waters. Eli officiated, kids flower tossers. Full circle, he toasted. But health's thief struck. Alex's prostate scare. Biopsy clean, but wake up. Checkups mandatory. Jamie decreed. Their roles flipping. Nurse Jamie, patient Alex. Travel-filled retiree days. RV jaunts to Smokies, Badlands, Parks Untold. Eli's family joined segments. Stories stacking like Jenga. Grandkids multiplied. Owen's sister Isla, then Sarah's third, a bonus boy. Cabin expanded. Bunk room. Harlan Ruiz Heritage plaque. Twilight years gilded. Eli's TED Talk on inclusive conservation. Alex and Jamie front row. Q&A, mentors. Two dads who taught loves the real ecosystem. Jamie's book sequel, Roots Entwined, bestseller. Alex pen memoir, Trails of Truth, ghosted by Eli. Winters warmed by hearth. Chess with Owen, puzzles with Isla. Lydia passed gentle, quilt legacy to great-grands. Final summer, family reunion at Yellowstone, all branches. Geyser tour, old faithfuls roar applause. Evening campfire. Eli, graying early, asked, regrets, Dad? Alex glanced at Jamie, hand laced in his. None. Every twist led here. Jamie squeezed. Question that started it. Best gift. Stars wheeled, legacy etched in embers. Love, unhidden, eternal. Wait, encore. Decades later, Eli's kids carried torches. Owen ranger-bound, Isla activist. Visits to graves. Harlan Sr., Lydia, flowers left, stories shared. Alex's last patrol, wheelchair trail with Jamie, geysers steaming. Worth it, he breathed. Jamie kissed forehead. Every step. Passing peaceful, surrounded. Eli's toast. Why'd you look like my dad? 'Cause you were my everything. Legacy lived on. Questions answered. Hearts unbound. The epilogue unfolded not in ink, but in echoes. Grandkids' laughter on the same trails where Eli once asked his fateful question. The cabin now a heritage site. Plaques gleaming. In memory of Alex and Jamie Harlan Ruiz, guardians of wild hearts. Owen, Eli's eldest, led tours there, voice steady as his grandfather's. This place isn't just land. It's where secrets became stories, where love outran fear. Isla, the firebrand, organized annual pride hikes, rainbow flags fluttering against pines. They taught us visibility's the ultimate protection, she'd say, Mia nodding beside her, silver-haired advocate. Sarah's line thrived too. Her twins, Lily and Leo, entrepreneurs in green tech, spouses and kids blending the family mosaic. Mark, ever the rock, joked at reunions, I'm married into legends. Eli and Mia retired to a lakeside home near Glacier, volunteering for youth programs, second chances for questions like mine. Eli confided to Owen one dusk, fly fishing rod paused. Your great-grandpa Alex? He answered with his life. Owen reeled in a trout, grinning. Tell me again, the boy and the ranger? Eli's eyes twinkled. Once upon a storm-swept day. And so the tale looped, hooked to horizon, a testament. Truths told late still illuminate. Prejudices crumbled build stronger ground. Love, in all its forms, the truest wilderness guide.